Hello guys, welcome to another live stream. Hope you are all doing well. Hello Ashish, what's up Ryan? Good evening from Singapore. Nice, cool, good evening. Ashish, where are you from? Because here in Zagreb it is currently 5 p.m. So you guys must be somewhere far away like Singapore. Hello Mate, what's up? How are you doing? So basically, we're going to start our classic analysis of the 6 currency pairs. If you guys have any questions or any chart requests, make sure to put them in the chat. We will cover every single question, every single chart request. Ashish says Zanzibar. Nice, cool. So you're pretty far away. Mate is looking at the pound and the US dollar. Let's see it. Let's bring it up. GBP/USD. Oh, wow. Nice. This looks good. I kind of don't like the wick. So price action is a bit corrective and range bound. And I don't like this wick, but I do like the momentum. So if we can get a nice large flag, let's say like this, then I would take this trade. So I like the momentum. I am still going to take a trade. I'm just being a bit more patient and careful because of the price action is pretty shit and the wick is kind of large as well. So Mate says proportional range would be good. Yeah, definitely because of the wick. I would like to see a bit of a range like this, definitely. So let me check if I did have any trades in the last week. I definitely had one on the Aussie US dollar. I got taken out for a loss, unfortunately, on this one. We're going to cover it. What was it? 10 pips. Yeah, 10 pips. So basically, let me just open my Notion, trade journal, live journal. Okay, so quite a few trades. On Wednesday, I took a sweep. On Thursday, I took a continuation. And on Thursday, I also took an internal reversal trade. So on NJ and EJ, let me mark it up. So on EJ, it was right. Where was it? Here. Yeah. Here it was a loss. And on NJ was another loss. We're going to cover all of the trades. Right here, sell setup. Okay. A sell setup on NJ. So let's get started with our first currency pair on the list, which is the euro and the US dollar. Price action was pretty crappy last week. Nothing much was happening in terms of high probability price action. Wednesday was around here. We had this ascending structure, but then it was NFP as well. So if you guys don't know, NFP Fridays, usually the first Friday in the month, and I do not trade on NFP Fridays. So I do not look at any news, but I will not trade NFP Friday. I stopped trading at like 1 or 2 a.m. on NFP Friday. Because of this, you're going to get a lot of volatility, a lot of erratic price action, lots of huge wicks up and down. Okay, and that is just very problematic, right? That is very problematic. Okay, and then price goes down after the news. Usually, after you see such a big news event like this, you want to see price continue almost immediately. You want to see for a trend to start. So as a trend trader, you want to see the price do this and like immediately start going in one direction. Usually that sparks a nice trend, but that did not happen in this case. As you can see, in this case, we kind of ranged around and then we broke lower, pulled back, broke lower. So here, maybe some people were interested in a sell setup because there was a little pullback where you could get in on a break and retest. For me, this one did not fit my personal plan. The reason was just the momentum was kind of not enough. And again, I expect the price to fail if we get a huge news candle range and then a push down, which is not that strong. Usually it doesn't lead to a good story. So I did not take that trade. I did not have my order on. Then we were just pretty corrective and range bound. There was one reversal opportunity that I was definitely looking at. It happened right on Monday, right when I start trading. So my trading hours, if you're wondering, are according to London time, 8 a.m. on a Monday until 5 p.m. on a Friday. So that are my trading hours. This push was pretty nice, had a clean close on the top, but I just wanted a bit of a cleaner descending structure. So this one did not fit my personal plan, especially beginning of the week, Monday open. It just the reversals do not tend to work as well as they do, let's say, later in the week. So yeah, I wasn't really looking for a trade right here, wasn't really looking for a reversal setup. That's about it. And it would be a loss. So if anyone did get in this trade, it would be, let's see, 10 pips. It would be a loss. Okay, yeah, definitely a loss. So it's good that I did follow the plan. Okay, then we were just pretty flat, corrective and range bound, which we are continuing to be as well. So now I'm not looking for any trending entries. I'm not really going to put this currency pair on the watch list either. Yes, I'm trading the range bound entry, which is the liquidity sweep on the euro and the US dollar, but this doesn't look like a very clean range. A clean range, I'm going to show it to you a bit later. Actually, we can do it now. For me, this was a clean range. This lost trade, okay. See, this was pretty flat, stuck in a range, okay, pretty flat, pretty stuck in a range. This was a clean range, but this is just doesn't look that good, especially with these large legs of volatility. So being more patient, and I'm just looking for momentum legs to the upside, or basically momentum legs to the downside like this. Okay, that is the only thing that I'm looking for on the euro and the US dollar. All right, that's about it. We can move on to the next one, which is going to be the euro and the Japanese yen. I did take a buy setup right here. This is one of the setups that we trade in Zentum Trading. So this is the internal reversal. Basically, the methodology is that we look for a descending channel, which we kind of expect to go up. But then sometimes you will get the final fake out to the downside, and then you get a nice big fat blue candle, and then you usually get a nice opportunity to get on a buy setup, and then the price does finally reverse and starts a nice uptrend. So that was what I was looking for on the euro and the Japanese yen. Okay, I was looking for that internal reversal, and we got exactly that. We got this super clean descending channel, very, very clean, very nice. Yeah, I think I talked about this in the live stream. I must have. This was super clean. Anyway, if you're more interested, look at the last live stream. Look at the recording, because this was super clean. Like, you should put this in your trade plan, just this formation by itself. Okay, usually in most cases price will reverse from this formation, and you will get a very nice, very strong uptrend. If you're looking for an example, well, I can give you an example. 23 January, just quick example. This one, okay, this one is a sell setup, but if we flip it, it looks the same, right? Super clean, and you can see price then just reverses like crazy. So that is why I love these setups. Okay, let's put it back. Must not forget to put it back. So yeah, took an internal reversal, stop loss below these lows, but it was a loss. So this one, unfortunately, was a losing trade. So then the price just ranged around and correctively started moving down. Here, there was, okay, now for the price action from last Wednesday, again, we're going to look at this. Price was definitely moving down. I mean, the overall story is that the price may be continuing with these large drops that we had. We had some massive movement on the JPY pairs, some massive bearish markets. So price may be continuing with the bearish price action, but it's not moving the way I want it to move. Okay, so I want to see nice large legs of momentum, nice consecutive bearish candles. Example, this one. Like this is a super nice downtrend. Right here. Very nice, very clean downtrend. That is what I want to see. Currently, I'm not really seeing it on the current price action. So let's see if this can clean up a bit. The title of this live stream is Will the JPY pairs clean up, right? Or not will they clean up, but like where will they go? Because they're definitely in a downtrend. So for now, I'm expecting more downside because this is really massive. I mean, it's pretty big. There's a lot of momentum behind this. So I expect for this to happen, for the price to continue with the overall downtrend, but I need a high probability entry setup. I definitely need a high probability entry setup. Currently, we're not getting one. Here, I maybe would have taken a flag if it formed. It never fully formed. So there was no opportunity there for me. But right now, we're just pretty volatile. I mean, we had this sort of a V reversal, and then the price moved down. It's just all over the place. So I'm not really going to put this pair on the watch list just yet. I want to see a large leg of momentum go down. I want to see something like this, a large bearish pressure, and then a nice flag sell right here. Okay, that is what I want to see on the euro and the Japanese yen. Until that happens, until that large leg of momentum happens, I'm just going to be more patient. I don't like this story in the most recent price action. That's it for EJ. It's not on the watch list. Aussie US dollar. This was a tough one. This was a tough trade. So let me cover it. Let me break it down. This was a sweep trade, liquidity sweep. And I liked how we took out this, which was for me a major low. I also liked so let me list all of the confluences. First confluence, major low takeout. Second confluence, large, okay, not a large range, but it was like a flat range. So there was definitely an area of significance below. Then also I can see the third confluence, which is some major buying pressure in this leg and in this leg. So that makes this area stronger as well, because you're going to get some buyers right here. They're going to put their stop loss probably below this low. And then also you kind of have possibly a multi-tap because you have this low as well. Not really, but you could make a case for it. And then the price goes into the lower liquidity, rejects, prints a bullish candle. That's my entry. I go in like this, and then the price almost hits the take profit. It was pretty close. It was pretty close. Let me see if I had a 13 pip. Aiming for a 2-1. No, not quite. Not quite. So yeah, basically this was a loss. This was a losing setup, unfortunately. Price took me out with this news candle. Yeah, unfortunately there was news. Wow, there was a lot of news. Core inflation. Yeah, who knew? Again, I don't look at news. I only look at NFP. So it's good that I did not get taken out for much more than I risked, okay? Because this could have ended badly. I could have been taken out maybe right here on the bottom of this, because you never know with these massive news scandals. So it is what it is, part of the game, part of the probabilities. But I have to say it was a bit tough to watch it go almost hit the take profit, and then it reversed all the way back down just in one massive candle. Maybe for the better, because if I was checking the charts on top of every hour, and if this was happening, I would just be losing my mind all the way to the stop loss. So it's better that it was quick, and yeah, quick takeout of the stop loss. So part of the game, part of the probabilities, but it's tough. It's tough on the psychology. I'm not gonna lie. Especially now that I have some funded accounts and I have DarwinX as well, so it's definitely the pressure is higher. Okay, the pressure to make money on every single trade. I feel, let's say, the need for it to hit the take profit or make some percentage, because I know I have those funded accounts waiting. But again, it's just something I need to get used to, and I need to keep it in mind that the psychology gets tougher as you have more capital under management. So it's nothing new. It's pretty normal. I just need to be aware of it, and maybe keep a journal or something. Usually, before entering every single trade, I write down the grade of the trade, so 1 to 10. Usually, if it's an 8 out of 10 or anything below, it's a shitty trade. If it's a 9 out of 10 or a 10 out of 10, usually it's a high probability setup. So I give it the grade, and I also write down what I liked about the trade and how I feel before taking the trade. And then I can get some analysis post the trade if I made a mistake, if my psychology was not there. And by reviewing my journal, I can say that I'm pretty good. I'm not making almost any mistakes. I may be missing a setup or two here or there, but when it comes to taking high probability setups, most of the trades that I take are like a 9 out of 10 for me, and I make a good decision. So that's definitely good to see that I'm sticking to my trading plan. Current price action and the prior price action, we can comment on this large drop because I was definitely looking for sell setups. This was looking pretty nice. We had some major bearish momentum, but it just could not commit, right? It could not commit and just ended up a range, right? No entry setups here, no high probability entry setups, and I was only starting to trade at this point, which was the 8 a.m. Monday candle. There was a nice internal reversal trade that I missed, so that was an error of mine because it happened during the night, but I could have woken up. I could have been more alert on the charts. So we have the descending structure, just as we covered on the euro and the Japanese yen, if you remember. So descending structure, final fake out, big bullish candle, and then you go in like this. And you can aim for, let's say, a 2-to-1. 2 pips below the low is your stop loss. Settings 185. I think I covered this in the last live stream, but doesn't matter. I want to give an example of a good internal reversal that actually did work. Okay. And you can see this one worked. So pretty nice, pretty high probability. Yeah. So current price action, pretty shit, pretty range bound, pretty flat. I'm not going to put this pair on the watch list. Maybe we can get some internal reversal setups. If this decides to range around a bit more, then we can maybe look for this or like this, right? Trade the range, sell the top like this, or buy the bottom. We'll see. I definitely have this price action on the radar, and I'm looking to see if the range can continue. Otherwise, I'm looking for the trending entries. So basically large impulse up or just a very clean large push down. This is not like the JPY pairs. The downtrend is not that strong. JPY pairs are a bit stronger. So I don't have any, let's say, macro analysis, right? I don't see a massive downtrend here. If anything, I'm seeing the price starting to slow down and a possible descending channel, but just leaving it alone for now. AJ, no trades here. There was one very interesting trade which Griff and Nico did take. So price is definitely trending down, right? This is a downtrend. Pretty massive legs here as well, but no high probability entries that fit my plan. And that can happen sometimes. I'm not gonna be in every single uptrend or downtrend. It happens sometimes where you just get a massive move and it doesn't present you with any high probability entry points. Part of the game. So yeah, nothing much here, a bit of a range. Here we had a massive drop and I was looking for sell setups, but nothing formed. No high probability setups formed. And then we had a nice, well, not a nice, but a very interesting reversal setup. So price was kind of starting to descend here, and then it broke up with some nice momentum, clean close on the top, and then a nice flag. Okay. So first high, first low, second high, second low, blue candle is the entry candle, right? You could go in with, let's say, 12 pips, maybe a bit more, let's say 20. 20 would look better. This part was good. This part was definitely good. The momentum was nice. The flag was high probability, no-brainer flag, but the descending was not clean enough for me. The range was not clean enough. It looked more to me like a massive downtrend than actually a descending and that the price was slowing down. I really didn't see that the price was slowing down. So basically, we then had this range right here. We broke down. Yeah, this would have been, let me see. This would have been a loss. Yeah, so this would have been a loss, a reduced risk loss, but it would be running some profit. Yeah, it would be running some profit. You would put your, according to our trade management rule, you would have put your stop loss 2 pips below this low. And yeah, this would have been a reduced risk loss. So currently, or not currently, but I did like this impulse down. It was kind of still stuck in a range, but overall price action is moving down definitely. So I think I would have taken a sell setup here. I think I would. What happened next? No sell setup. Okay, so no flag, break and retests, nothing, because the price broke the low and started printing huge wicks. So that wasn't good. That wasn't good. Then we broke lower, double wicks, retrace to the upside. Okay. And then basically strong momentum up, but just volatile price action. So same as on the euro and the Japanese yen, just nothing high probability. Volatile move down, up, down. That's not good. As a trend trader, this is not something that you want to see. This is a sign of being more patient. So I'm not going to put this currency pair on the watch list. I'm going to be more patient on AJ, and I'm just going to wait. I'm just going to wait for a large push up or a large push down. I'm just going to wait if the price can maybe continue with a downtrend, right? So if we can get a nice, large, strong impulse down like we had in the price action, then I'm going to look for sell setups. And that would be very interesting to me. Gabriel, hey man, I'm following you for 2 years or so. Just wondering, did you secure any payouts as of now? So no, I didn't. I did recently pass. So like a year ago or 2 years ago, I had a 50K FTMO. I blew that. Now I passed Alpha Capital and FTMO, but I haven't had any payouts yet. I did have a fund account with Traders with Edge, and I was supposed to get a payout from them, but they had some very shady rules that every trade needed to be of the same lot size. So I ended up breaching that account, but it was just a shady company. Traders with Edge is super shit, if they even exist as a prop firm. So unfortunately, I did not secure any payouts, but I did build my personal account, which I'm kind of proud of because the results are pretty nice. And that was my main focus. So my main focus was always to build a good track record on my personal. If you want to check that out, go to my channel, my FX book review. You can see it on my channel. It was like last video on my channel, I think. And FTMO is now the goal, Alpha Capital and Darwin X0 as well. So I have a good result on Darwin X0, and I'm trying to attract investors after I finish the calibration phase. We'll see what will happen with that. But I always think that the personal account should be the main focus, and then prop firms on the side, but attracting investors should be like the final goal. Having a good track record of at least, let's say, 4, 5, 6 years, and then getting those investors, because the goal is not to make as much percentage as you physically can. That usually leads to over trading and lots of losses. The goal is to make your capital bigger. So if you're making, let's say, I don't know, 30, 40% per year, your goal is not to make 80 or 100% per year, because that's going to be very tough, and you're probably going to mess it up, and not every year will be very profitable. But it's much better to build up the trading capital so that you're, let's say, you have 1 million or 5 million under management, and now that 20, 30, 40% per year becomes a very, very big sum if you have investor capital. So I think Darwin X0, attracting investors, building up a good track record, long-term thinking is a better way to go than just doing prop firms and not really having a personal account. Mate says this year is very slow for us. It's a bit of a slower year. Yeah, I have to agree. It's a bit of a slower year, but it happens, and we're still in September, so we still have some months to go. We can still get some nice trends. Usually, look, the reality is in a year, there will be like 2 or 3 massive trends where you will make most of the percentage. It's the same as in the Market Wizards books. So basically 10% or sorry, 90% of the profits come from 10% of the trades. And that is my experience as well. 2 or 3 times per year, I'll make some very good percentage. Rest of the months will kind of be break even, a little bit profit. Maybe some of them will be negative as well, but there won't be some like massive profits in those other months. So you're basically waiting, you're being patient, and you're waiting for those big trends stuff, but it is the reality. Inside Bar Trading says 100% the best goal. I think you mean the like looking at the long-term performance. I would agree. And Tom, what's up, Tom, says, how is the trade copier doing? The trade copier, if you mean Traders Connect, they're doing great. So I haven't had an issue so far. I have all of my accounts connected on there. So I have the 2 fund accounts. I have the 100K FTMO step 2. I have the 100K Alpha Capital step 2, and I have the Darwin X0 on that trade copier as well. So it's Traders Connect. And if you guys want to check it out, it should be in the description of this video, I think. So it's the best trade copier, the fastest, most reliable, best support, and like zero downtime. They're always online and never had an issue with them. Mate says the advanced liquidity sweep will be the game changer. You mean like the directional liquidity sweep? Or I'm not sure what you mean, because I know that Nico is looking at, for example, if you get a big downtrend like this, then like here is a small range. So you could say this is a sweep. You could sell right here, okay? Or you could sell right here. This would have been the entry, or this was a flag, but okay, so you mean the directional sweep. Yeah, so we're definitely looking into that. But you need a big trend, right? You need a big trend to happen like this, a big uptrend or a big downtrend, and then the directional sweep can work pretty good. If you just have this flat and corrective, well, then you're not going to get very far. So it's important to distinguish between different market conditions. You have the trending, range bound, volatile. This is range bound, this is trending, and this would be volatile, I guess, right here. It's not really the best example. I think this is a very good example. This is volatile. See? Massive move down and then move up. What was 300 pips? Okay, like 500 pips. Yeah, this is the volatile market condition, 100%. Okay, anyway, AJ, flat and range bound, being more patient on AJ. Pound US dollar. I didn't have any trades on the pound and the US dollar. It looks the same as the euro and the US dollar, right? Doesn't it? Yeah, pretty much looks the same. Shahid says gold. Yep, for sure we have gold coming up. So the pound and the US dollar, NFP, huge wick up, huge wick down. Basically ascending structure, but not that clean. And then we move down, flat range right here, and then a massive drop after the flat range. So nothing in the price action was really interesting to me. It was pretty corrective, and there were no high probability patterns, but the current price action does look promising. So the good sign about it is this momentum right here. It's very strong, nice bearish momentum. Very nice, very strong. Just see PPI, okay. And this was news as well, wasn't it? Yeah, okay. So flat range breakout with a lot of momentum. Large wick on the bottom. So the good signs about this are that this momentum is really nice, it's really strong, and it's Wednesday as well. Wednesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays are the best days to be taking trending entries, in my personal opinion. Okay. best days to be taking trending entries, and in my personal experience as well. So this is pretty flat, but then the breakout, the problems with this setup are that the price action was flat. That's not a good sign. And the large wick on the bottom. So we do have a couple of warning signs, and you have to weigh up the pros, weigh up the cons, and then make a decision of what do you want to do right here. For me, I can already see that I will be taking a sell setup. I am interested in sell setups, but I need to see some key things happening as a confirmation that this trade is worth the 1% risk. The best case for me would be that this just ends up being one pullback candle, and then we break the low and then have a clean close, nice fat red candle, and then I get in on a break and retest trade like this. Okay, that would be the best scenario for me. But I will also take a flag. If we can get a nice tight flag that has a bit of a range, I really want to see that range because of this large wick and because the price action is kind of not the best. I want to see price pause here, and then I would get in on a sell setup. So that would fit my plan. That would fit my plan. So, and that's about it for the pound and the US dollar. That's my game plan. I am definitely going to put this pair on the watch list. I like this momentum. This one is probably going to be the only currency pair on the watch list for today, but it's looking good. So the summary is, I like the momentum. I'm looking for sell setups, but I need to see a clean entry, a clean high probability entry. That's it for the pound. We can now jump to gold quickly, and then we're going to cover the last one on the list, which is the New Zealand and the Japanese yen. So for these pairs, which I do not trade live, I only analyze them for the live stream because some of them I am testing currently, but none of them are being traded live by me. So these ones I'm going to do on the daily chart. It just makes more sense. It just makes more sense to do them on the daily chart. Unfortunately, gold has not moved out of this range, so it's been pretty flat in range bound from the 21st of August. So for like a month, it has been just stuck in this range. My analysis is that I don't see much more upside for this particular currency pair. Okay, I don't see much more upside. The reason is we're just struggling. Each time we break the highs, we retrace and we struggle, right? Every single time we're just struggling to go up. So the momentum, in my personal opinion, is dying down, and this is not looking the best. It's kind of looking like the move has been exhausted and that the price is ready to actually start moving down just by a technical assessment. So I think this is more likely to happen. And that's what I see on the Forex pairs, at least, right? It's not really something I can translate 100%, but ascending and descending channels tend to work on every single instrument, because the reason is that the market is trying to go up, but it's struggling. It's trying to go up, but it's struggling, right? The momentum is getting exhausted, and then finally the sellers win and they start that downtrend. So that's my analysis for gold. I would not really be a buyer in this market. I would wait for a high probability sell setup as it stands. 1 hour is going to be flat and corrective. Yeah, just very flat, very corrective. Let's do also US 30. US 30. Dow Jones. Daily. Kind of the same story. It looks pretty similar to gold, right? So just breaking the highs, retracing, struggling as we're going up. Struggling. It cannot go up further. I mean, it can, but the technicals are telling me that it's struggling. So for me, I see this as a sort of an exhaustion of the move, and I would actually expect downside to happen. And I can tell you, I've did some extensive backtesting on the S&P 500, and ascending and descending channels definitely work. So they kind of work on every single instrument, and it makes sense. I mean, the theory does make sense. It is a logical way of thinking where the buyers are just losing steam. The buyers just cannot win. and then the sellers finally win, and they started the correction, they start the downtrend. Okay, so on the US 30, I would not be a buyer either. I think this is looking pretty bearish. Shahid says, so Ashish says, we'll wait for ECB tomorrow. Okay, I'm guessing that is for the euro pairs. Shahid says, what about rate cut results on US 30 and gold? So news is something I do not look at. So unfortunately, I could not make an assessment on a fundamental basis because I don't have any experience or any knowledge in news trading. I can only give you a technical analysis assessment of what is going on right now. So the rate cuts, and they definitely should have an impact, right? Because fundamentals are, and news is what pushes the markets, but it usually makes a signature in the technicals as well. So usually if the markets want to go up after news happens, usually in the next couple of hours or the next day, you will get that move up, right? You're going to get it because what happens in news must translate onto the charts as well. Because if the news is bullish and people want to buy a specific asset, that asset will go, the price will go up as people keep buying it. So that's why I like sticking to only technicals, because most news, most fundamentals get translated into the price action, and then you can spot the moves happening live in the markets. You can spot the buying, you can spot the selling, and it makes things more simple. More simple. It makes my job a bit more simple, a bit easier, because I have only one thing to look at. But if I had the fundamentals and technicals, then that would be more work, more contradiction. I would get more, let's say, fake signals, and it would just be messier. So I like to keep it simple for now. Maybe in the future I'll change my mind, but for now I like to keep it to the technicals. Okay. Yeah, we still have one currency pair that I do trade live. It is the recent price action on this 1 hour chart, very correctively descending, very, very corrective. I would say it's kind of range bound, right? Kind of corrective and range bound overall. So the only thing that is left is the New Zealand and the Japanese yen. I did take a setup. When was this? Thursday? Last week. Yeah, this was last week. No brainer sell setup. Really high probability in my opinion. Really, really high probability. We did have this descending channel right here. I was looking for a reversal setup, same as on the euro and the Japanese yen. If you want to take a screenshot of what a clean descending channel looks like, only the lows are being broken, and each time we break the low, we get not a lot of momentum. We get weakness pretty much. So this was looking very nice, but it could not produce a high probability trade. After that, we had a massive drop down. A lot of momentum. Price was following the bearish momentum in the per price action. We had this massive leg down, another massive leg down, one candle pullback, break of the low, lots of momentum, clean close on the bottom, and I placed my sell limit for a break and retest, and it was unfortunately a 1% loss. Okay, so this was a losing trade. Price did continue going down. Yeah, so price did continue going down, as we can see, but I just could not get in my high probability entry. It wasn't meant for me to follow this downtrend at that current point. It is what it is. Similar price action as on the Aussie and the Japanese yen happened here. So price reversed from a small descending, but this flag was not as high probability as the Aussie and the Japanese yen. Mate says, wasn't it too far away from the entry? If you're talking about this trade, that was a warning sign. I have to agree that was the warning sign, because this current price is far away from the entry level, but you have to look at the big picture where this is in a downtrend. It is a downtrend. It is Thursday as well, so it's a good day to be taking trending entries. And this momentum is pretty clean. Just one candle pullback, zero buying pressure. This was very clean in my opinion. Very high probability, very clean. So it was worth the risk, even with the current price being far away from the entry level. Even with that, it was still worth the risk in my personal opinion. Okay, then I was talking about this one, this flag, not high probability in my opinion, just too much selling pressure here and here, not here, but in the first leg of the flag, it was just a bit too much selling pressure, so AJE did look better. Aussie and the Japanese yen did look more high probability than this one. Yeah, no worries, Mate. See you in the call today as well. It's in 1 hour and 15 minutes. Okay. Then we were flat. Then we dropped down. No high probability entries here on the drop. And then the same price action, same story as on all of the JPY pairs. Pretty volatile price action. This is one of the cases where we do have a downtrend with pretty strong legs. I mean, this leg was pretty strong. This leg was strong as well. This one, and now this one, but no high probability entries. The only entry that was borderline, the only entry was this flag plus formation. Okay, I know one trader or two people in Zentum Trading took this trade. I think Sean definitely took it, but I'm not sure if anyone else did. So he took this flag after this massive leg of momentum. I think he used 12 pips, and it was like a 10% winner, right? It was pretty massive, a pretty massive trade. So very nice, but it did not fit my plan because the slowdown, and it was Tuesday as well. So I just saw too many warning signs, and it did not fit my personal plan. But that was the only kind of interesting entry to sell in this downtrend. No other interesting entry except this one, which was a loss. But this one actually won. So only one in this massive move. It is what it is. That is what makes trading a bit tricky, right? So let's see what our pound is doing. Oh, it's not looking that good right now. It's kind of printing bullish momentum up. So I would need the next candle probably to retrace to make my little flag, right? I would definitely not like to see the next candle to go up. That would be a massive warning sign. That's it for the pairs that I trade live. I'm going to run through the rest of the major instruments. S&P, wow, S&P printed a big bearish move on the daily chart. So I still believe this has a bullish story. Okay, I still think this is going to go up on the daily. I think this is just like a cup and a handle, or you could also make a case for the pattern that we trade, a V reversal, which is a bullish pattern, or maybe like a inverse head and shoulder pattern, another bullish pattern. It's all the same, but basically they all tell a bullish story. So the probabilities are telling me that this is going to go up. Currently printing a bearish leg, but again, long term, I think it's going to go up. At least that's what the probabilities are telling me. I don't know for sure. I can just say what the technicals are telling me. Well, this was an interesting sell setup right here. Okay. 1 hour chart is a bit messy, a bit corrective. I don't have any opinion on the 1 hour. S&P we did. NASDAQ, the same. It looks even worse. It looks worse than the S&P. S&P looks more bullish than the NASDAQ. Gold we did. Silver, just flat and corrective. It's been moving in the same area for a long time now. So yeah, I'm not really looking at this from 22nd of July, and it's still hovering around the same level. It hasn't moved anywhere. So gold is more interesting. Gold is much more interesting than silver. Bitcoin is just flat and corrective. It doesn't want to move. It doesn't want to break out of this channel, right? It doesn't want to move up, doesn't want to move down. So the story is be more patient, right? If I had to make a decision, I think this is more of a bearish case. I think there's going to be a bit more of a bearish case than a bullish case, because as you know, with crypto, it highly depends on the hype, on the news articles, on the social media posts, everyone talking about it. That's what's important with Bitcoin. And currently, no one is talking about Bitcoin, which is a bearish sign. Okay, that's a bearish sign. I don't think this is going to end in a bullish way. I think it's going to drop. I think maybe to here, right? So I think a bearish scenario is more likely on Bitcoin. Ethereum, bearish. DXY is looking, wow, it's looking bearish. It's looking pretty bearish, the DXY. So this is the dollar index, and it's definitely printing some major legs of selling pressure. So it's looking pretty bearish, and I would not be surprised if this does continue. Whoop, overall moving down. So bearish on DXY. 1 hour doesn't look that good. US oil, bearish. US oil is bearish on the daily chart. It's moving down. It has, you can see the V reversal here. This is a pattern. This one is a inverse V reversal, you could say, or a cup and a handle. It's a bearish pattern, and as you can see, the price went down. 1 hour, it's moving in a channel. A very clean channel, if I may add. Pretty clean channel right here. So very interesting for US oil. But in my personal opinion, this is bearish. US oil is bearish. And that's about it for all of the instruments on my list. If you guys have any questions or any chart requests, make sure to put them in the comments. We're kind of approaching the end of the stream. So yeah, my overall assessment of the markets, not the best, right? Not the biggest of the trends, not the cleanest of the price action. JPY pairs, I would like for them to keep dropping. That would be a good story. Pound US dollar as well. But definitely JPY pairs are in a massive downtrend. So if we can just continue dropping down and give me a high probability entry to sell, that would be great, right? That would be great, because this downtrend is looking pretty healthy right now. So let's see if that can happen. Rest of the assets pretty range bound, as you saw. Gold, S&P not really doing much. So maybe things can pick back up, because now it's September, so summer is over and people are getting back to work, getting back to being, let's say, serious, more productive. So let's see if some more trading activity, if trading activity is going to pick back up again, or if we get like a black swan and we get a big move up or a big move down. So yeah, if there are no more questions, then I will wrap up the stream right here. So we do have our Zentum call today in like 1 hour and 10 minutes. Hope to see you guys there. Mate, I know you're coming. Tom is probably coming as well. Tom says oil is already covered. Yeah, so we just covered oil, but I can do a quick recap. On the daily is a bearish story for me personally. I'm seeing the inverse V reversal right here, which is a bearish pattern. Oh, and I'm seeing a strong leg down. So I expect more bearish price action. We do have some support levels right here and right here. But just by gauging the momentum, I think this has more potential to go down rather than go up. So yeah, that's about it for this live stream. Thank you guys for watching, and I will see you guys next Wednesday, 5 p.m. or no, sorry, it's 4 p.m. London time, 5 p.m. my time, Zagreb time. So yeah, that's it. See you guys.